Right now it's facing that way right now. Okay. How's that going? How many people did you get?
We got almost 900 on our Facebook.
900 so far?
Yeah, but we can't. We're fighting.
They're cutting down your reach probably.
Oh
We can see it.
You can't even find our page now.
Yeah.
Anybody join now?
Well, I've lost 18 channels on YouTube, and I've been blocked so many times on Facebook I couldn't even count.
Yeah.
You know, I know some friends like Hawa that she works in the medical field, and she was speaking out against it. So she'd go on a 60-day ban, come off for a day, and they put it right back on for another 30 days.
Yeah.
You know, it's terrible. That's why I'm on all these other ones, like Trumpet, Orbeez, like I said, ones I can't even think of. FC2 is one of them. You know, I'm picking up, 600-700 views on each of them, and it adds up to between 6,000 and 12,000 views, which is okay. But I used to get close to 100. You know, it's gonna take me a while to build that back up. I had people like Laura Bolber on, Marjorie Green was on my channel and all that.
Yeah.
So I still show her videos, but they don't really want to come on unless you got a big following, which I'm trying to get it back up to. So I'm here at Shannon Joy's. What is she calling this? Is she actually suing, or what's it called?
I think she's going to announce it. I'm not really.
Oh, you're not sure exactly what it is. Shannon Joy's event. So
she's my daughter, so
announce it.
I do know, but she's my daughter, so I do know, but I'll let her share.
Okay, that's okay. I didn't know. I just want to tell everyone watching what it's about.
Yeah.
Downtown Rochester, Main Street, Rochester, at the court building, I believe. Yep. So I just knew the address. I had to walk a little bit.
39.
Hard to find parking.
39.
To be safe, I don't know. So I don't know. What do you think is going to happen? Are they going to be able to force these vaccines and mask on us? They're going to try to use the next variant.
Over our dead bodies.
Yeah, the next variant's weaker, and yet they're still going to pimp it in the media.
We went after them when they wanted to double mask us because we didn't have vaccines. They wanted us to double mask and wear shields. That's what we.
Well, my wife at the time was a mask plus a shield, and that. And Como,
no.
They didn't have any patients that were sick in a nursing home until Como forced them to take one. After that, they had almost a whole floor die from it. It's bad for old people,
We said no, and they rescinded. So we won.
Yeah. Well, so where's your?
We have almost 900. So if they want to start pulling, then
have anyone been fired, or is it still in the?
Not yet.
Okay, good.
They were threatened.
Yeah, they try to scare you.
I'm Shannon's mom. Yeah, I'm mom. I'm Marianne. I didn't met you. Probably. For your daughter and for you. Yeah. That's right. And then you start doing more and more lousy.
It's Shannon Joy over there in the black dress. She's a radio announcer. You didn't know, here in Rochester. So.
Now they say it's everything but. Just.
I think I met you over on Park Avenue when she had an event there at Park Avenue. Oh, okay, I was there last summer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot exactly what that was for, but it had to do with the shutdowns. I know.
Yeah.
Open up the state. They're going to use that next variant. Yeah.
Restaurant that we all met at, one restaurant that was trying to open, and
yeah.
we were trying to support them. Yeah.
Exactly. So.
Yeah. What's your name again?
Jerry Kruger. I go by True Conservative Minutes and everything. Since then they banned me for life from YouTube, but I'm on like 25 other platforms. So. Yeah. Like Orbeez, Rumble. HugeTube, which is Utah Gun and Change, they all got kicked off of YouTube, all that kind of stuff. Trumpet, FC2, I can't even remember them all. Instagram, Twitter, this is going to Twitch. So, I don't know, you get between 6,000 and 12,000 between them all, kind of mix and match. But I used to get, like when Marjorie Green would come on, I'd get 100,000 or something, She came on, Laura Bobart came on, Mary Miller from Illinois. 9 of the freshman class came on with me at one time in the Congress now. So at one time or another, more than once sometimes. Even people like Beverly Beebe, have you ever heard of her? She's the one that's a black lady, very religious, and she went and put black paint on the Black Lives Matter mural there, and she's totally against dividing the people, you know. So it's CRT is just a 8, you know. It's really CT, critical theory, which is there's oppressors and then there's the oppressed, and if you can get the ones that you can get them to think they're oppressed, and then you can get the overthrow of the country and make it socialist. Really, that's what they want to do, is take over. They're poisoning the kids.
And then it's just refining and adding the races to, because that.
Yeah, they did it in other countries. They call it critical theory, which was oppressors, the rich against the poor, and they did it that way, you know. So, but you don't have a middle class unless you have an upper class, really. So they did. A lot of those filthy rich ones, like Bill Gates, don't want other ones ever challenging them, moving up through the ranks and becoming a company against them. Really, they get total control in this whole situation.
You know, you just don't think about being that evil. You know, but then when you look back at World War II, how do you think, how could they? But yes.
Yeah, well, there was a twist in that. They thought they were a superior race. That was the twist in it.
They were probably told by the media that they maybe didn't think about.
Well, also,
superior.
eventually Hitler's speeches, it didn't start out that way, but eventually he could create an enemy and then do it. They're the ones ruining our pure race, you know. They were ruining their pure race. So, and he didn't like blacks very much either. You know, Hitler, look what he did with Jesse Owens and stuff like that at the Olympics. You know, eventually should have won. About 6 months? Huh? What? Oh, I don't know. Oh, I thought it was yours. Oh. Oh, it's your mom's?
No, it's my sister's.
Sisters, okay. Oh, can I get your sign? I gotta get a little closer. I don't have the Zoom stuff. There we go. The light's not great. Give time for people. Grandma died. My wife works in a nursing home. They had 0 cases. No one was getting sick until he forced them to take someone. Then the whole floor, just about everyone on that whole floor died from it. I call him King Coma myself. So, yeah. I don't know. Oh, yeah, with the shots and all that. You see how many people are getting sick from this thing? 7,000 now it's up to. Last show I did, I had like 6,000 something on that one. But just last night, I played a bunch of videos of people talking about they got the shot and what was happening to them. And some of them was like the husband or whatever, when their wife died and stuff like that. I played probably about 60 of them, you know, last night, just last night. Yeah. Well, I thought I heard, and this is a while back, there was more cases ill and dead from this than all the vaccines put together in the last 20 years. And it's only been a matter of months. And who knows the long term right now? Some of these people, the whole heart issue, and yeah. And then these places, now they're trying to get businesses to be part of forcing people to do it and all that. Eventually, they want to get the number down low enough so they can force the rest of us. You know, try to talk enough into so that it's a low enough percentage. You know, they'll say, "Yo, you can't go in the store, or you can't go in the movie theater, can't do this and that."
The people that have had
Yeah.
people that haven't tried to make out. But in England, they had so many people get COVID again, but 66% of people that get diagnosed with COVID have had vaccine.
Yeah. Did you? You live in England now? Oh, because I just had
I lived there half my life and here half my life.
Oh, so you got that bit of accent there. I just did a show recently on the 15th. They planned the thing leaked out where they were communicating, and Kamala Harris was part of this communications. On the 15th, they plan to claim the Delta variant, and they're going to do a permanent lockdown after that. Yeah, that's all. They have certain dates they plan on doing different things. Yeah, well, I showed it all on. You know, YouTube is taking 18 channels from me, but I got several other platforms. So
I did hear today. Somebody said
yeah.
they were saying that the FDA in October 2020.
Yeah.
Side effects they knew were going to
Oh, okay.
I'm just going to pick,
It's a video or it's a?
it was a video, but I printed out some PDF.
Oh.
List of the things that they knew were going to be side effects of the vaccine.
Catch up with me later. Maybe you can send it to my Facebook. Because I'll put it on live.
I'm not sure what your name is.
Okay. I'll
You'll give me a card.
yeah. Well, I don't have a card, but I can tell you. I got a separate piece of paper here. I was going to ask Shannon Joy. I'm supposed to interview her after this. And my name's Jerry Kruger, and I'm Jerry Kruger on Facebook.
Am I keeping this paper?
Yeah.
Okay, so Jerry Kruger.
Yeah, it's the questions I'm going to ask Shannon. Yeah, Jerry with a J, Kruger. And I'm the one with the 3 flags, Israel, United States, and Kurdish, as an icon on Facebook.
Okay, all right. Okay.
It's a 3 flags all together.
Is that your background?
Yes. Well, it's my icon in the background is a women's softball team I used to coach. So, okay, we're heading in. I guess this is where the thing's going to be. I met you also on Park Avenue. We did a rally there with Shannon, open up rally last year. Probably about this time, I think. Remember, it was warm. Hey, what are you doing?
What's up, my friend? You guys are coming in?
Doing? Tell them where to find you quick. Okay. I'm live right now, but I'll be live again later. I'm coming. Everyone's going over here. Can't clap.
And if,
Oh, film it from that way. Okay. You guys get the best spots. I'm just. Cool.
I'll get right to the point. On the morning of April 3rd, 2021, my 12-year-old daughter was watching cartoon in our front living room, straight off the front porch of our airport home, and began aggressively banging on the front door. Right as she looked out the window and saw 2 armed police officers on the sidewalk, a second stranger on our private property. When she didn't answer the front door, they walked around the side of our porch and banged aggressively on the side door, frightening our 9-year-old son, Teddy, who was playing video games. Alarmed and scared, my daughter ran upstairs to find Dad. Daddy, there are strange men on the front porch and I'm afraid. My husband Jeff quickly dressed and ran downstairs to find 2 Monroe County health officials, 2 armed police officers, and by then, 4 vigilant neighbors who were concerned about the incident unfolding at our peaceful village home. What was our alleged crime? What offense had we committed against the county to justify sending armed police and government agents to our home to frighten our children and disrupt our quiet neighborhood on the Saturday morning before Easter? It turns out that Mimi's crime was being my daughter. And Jeff's crime was being my husband. And my crime was defending and protecting my daughter, who had been ensnared in a contact tracing investigation, falsely accused of being in contact with an individual who tested positive for COVID-19 and unjustifiably ordered into quarantine. My crime was exercising my First Amendment rights by exposing the bully tactics and corrupt methods deployed by Monroe County health officials on my radio program the night before. You see, the night before this incident, these agents were deployed to harass my family at our home. On my radio show on News Radio Wham I played a 15-minute recording of my conversation with Gene Matt Fogg, a senior level contact tracer who reports directly to Mike Mendoza. And in that conversation, I, along with attorney and friend Chad Hummel, exposed the agency's methods of intimidation, their incompetence regarding contact tracing investigations, and most importantly, the county's very obvious and blatant violations of basic constitutional protection. 14 hours later, in what was clearly an attempt at retaliation and intimidation, they deployed agents and officers to my home. I did my job as a mother, protecting and defending my daughter, and also as a member of the press by scrutinizing and challenging individuals in positions of power. There is nothing controversial about the media asking tough questions and exposing corruption within government institutions. But under this current leadership, any media criticism is unacceptable and will result in harassment and intimidation. To my knowledge, in the 15 months since the onset of COVID-19, never has the county personally delivered a quarantine order. And never have they sent armed police to accompany contact tracing to an individual's home. Yet they did that to me 14 hours after they were exposed on my radio program. I suppose their intent was to scare me off or to frighten me so that I would shut up and let them continue to bully individuals, members of this community, in perpetuity and in darkness. And if I'm being completely honest, they did scare me. They were probably the scariest hours of my life, those moments when I realized how vindictive the county was. That they were so vindictive they would send armed police officers to my home. And what went through my mind was the question about what would they do next? If we violate these quarantine orders, will they get a family court judge to sign a warrant and take my children? It was a terrifying moment for me as a mother. And I'm sure that this would be a terrifying moment for any parent. We shouldn't be afraid of our government. It's not right. They terrified me because I realized how vindictive they were. We were so scared that even though Mimi tested negative for COVID-19, we locked the entire family down on Easter weekend, canceling all of our plans. And through the next week, I was afraid they would take my daughter. But I want to be courageous. And courage is standing up even when you are scared. And you all know me. Even though I am frightened, I won't back down from hope. I will stand up to them, and that's why we're here today. In Monroe County, in a pattern that has become untenable and unacceptable under the leadership of Adam Bello and Mike Mendoza, the health department has operated without scrutiny, transparency, or accountability. In matters of public health, which is purposely broad and undefined, they have granted themselves powers beyond their jurisdiction, the power to investigate individuals without cause, to access personal and private medical information, to order individuals into home imprisonment for weeks without due process, to shut down schools and businesses arbitrarily, and harass citizens with intrusive and unnecessary regulations. And most disturbing, the power to use police force and brute tactics to intimidate members of the press to silence. This is not the behavior of public servants. This is the behavior of tyrants and despots. Any society challenged with crisis must necessarily seek to balance the rights of the individuals with the needs of the community. Governments cannot be allowed to declare emergency and then use that as an excuse to trample over the little guys. Not in America. And the reality is that even though we are enjoying a brief summer respite from lockdown, we all know that whether it's Beta, Delta, Gamma, or even a bad flu season, the next variant, virus, or hyped up health emergency will be used to strip us of even more of our rights until we have none. They will never stop until we stop them. And one way to stop them is to sue them, to make it financially difficult for them to persist in their disregard of individual rights. Because of my media platform and the extraordinary event that took place on April 3rd, I have a unique opportunity to use what happened to my family as a springboard to fight on your behalf. And I know I'm not alone. The indignity that I suffered has paled in comparison to the anguish and torment that so many of you, particularly those who have watched their loved ones perish tragically and unnecessarily alone encounter. Children who have had their lives ripped away, struggling with anxiety, depression, and even suicide. Many of these are government-inflicted casualties. And though we cannot address these things in this lawsuit, we can use it to hold these officials accountable for their disregard of our rights and our lives. Today, everything changes. Today marks the beginning of a larger movement in New York State and across the country where we come together and stand up and say no more. Today, we put government officials on notice. We will not lie down and surrender our liberty. We will fight them in the courts. We will fight them legislatively. We will fundraise, organize, and petition for freedom. We will demonstrate in the street. We will unionize parents to protect our children in schools and healthcare workers to protect our medical freedom. We will challenge police departments who allow their officers to be used as tools to enforce unconstitutional health mandates, forcing them to violate their oath to protect the Constitution. We will demand justice for those who died in their schools, accountable to people who hurt them. Never, never, never give up. I am so thankful and blessed to be joined by Corey Hogan, a Hogan Willing attorney at law, who has successfully defended hundreds of kids in New York State since March of 2020, those who to deny them their basic, God-given natural. He has fought and won on behalf of hair salons and restaurants, including our dear friend Don Schwartz of Veneto. He has fought and won on behalf of children in the reopening of youth hockey programs statewide. He is currently fighting to get the masks off our children's beautiful faces permanently in public schools. Much of the work that Corey does is as a philanthropist and a crusader for liberty, a role I'm sure he never expected to play, but one that is of vital importance across the country. With Corey's help, on Friday, June 25th, he officially filed a notice of claim to inform Mike Mendoza, Monroe County, the Monroe County Department of Health, and the Fairport Police Department of our intention to file a civil rights lawsuit in federal court, the torturous harassment of my family, broad constitutional violation. I am establishing the SJ Bill Fund to serve as a funding mechanism for this lawsuit and hopefully many more to come. Individuals will be able to support our efforts with donations at that site. At this time, I would like to break with it to explain a little bit more about the nature of this lawsuit.
As we all stand here, air conditioned, probably about 245 the I said and enough one of our own lives. Fast forward. And that's what's hard. I put it out. Honest, so quickly. Government sees us uncontrolled. See it looking at all over the world. And not just not Monroe County, not New York City, not the United States. Throughout the world, there have been lockdowns. Hey, in right across the people. There are one instance there were a number of people. Really? die because the government said not to what we are doing. Talk about loss. Our loss of back in March 2020. Theory that would allow us to stop how mistaken it was. Third, shortly after giving that designation, Attorney General why are you do whatever you do? You're going to outside your taking out license people going into the restaurant. That's it. Course of an average store here ago. Taking down wait. Here we go. Theory. You can't trust anybody to give power outside the way it is. You have a grant did not exist in New York. No legislation, any kind, no legislation, any party is one damn. Or did the ACLU hopefully out there protect our civil rights have done nothing. What we really see is Joy. Focus on defense 24/7. As children go to meet them, they have a husband who puts his job in the and wherever you go, somebody taking track that he's willing to do. He needs travel around the country. That is what the Declaration of Independence talks about. Let's talk about past heroes. Trying to fight behind or government officials unannounced, private presidential makers knock on the door, our police who basically hand an order for 10 days, 12-year-old girl, because she played volleyball. Perhaps person may come here, no other purpose but to intimidate. You're not going to have a right to speak up. You don't want to criticize the government wants to operate unimpeded with whatever they want. Not up to about it. They will do it. Whether it's a lockdown or COVID-19 or a flu virus, whatever it is, everybody across this world that the government might take care of. We are going to bring up one civil rights. Turned out, tested negative. Go get a test. Negative. Again today, turns out the world there are about 6.6 million deaths every year. Every year, 9 million people die. Every year, about 4 million children die. We're not shouting off about COVID. The issue is justify restrictions that are imposed on mankind everywhere. Our position is budget. Got victim find out what's going on are our kids. Our 4-year-old, going to summer school today, still wearing masks. Even though clear 50% of the staff already been covered by the other half, 60% of that are have running together. Taking these kids, mask up, they go to school. What you want to do? Take a 5-year-old, year and a half or 2 years, put a mask on, and this is how you're going to behave now. Is unconscionable for the government not to do these things in this country. It's the wrong thing. Shannon has said, my perspective, please help. Let's do something about it. If you don't, I don't think we will. That's what we're going to be doing. So speaking of what Shannon is doing, we will reach Joseph, help her, bring that, get those fans up. Represented restaurants. They were all shut down. We're going out of business. Right. Brought an action. This person, judge, let them stay open. They don't want to go. They don't. Hospital state. It's a regular paycheck. Didn't really give a shit. Brought the action. Successful. Next day, bunch of little restaurants. One little person that step forward does something about it. Is that one individual trying to use her heart, but go forward. Don't have the energy to do it. This is what's going to be not only important dollars that you're paid, but also in terms of support the restaurant, that the work to get out. Important that people are begging for only when that all occurs. So please listen to Danny going forward. Certainly you'll hear about it. And your support is invaluable. Reaching out to every single person, maybe together, bring this country back to where it wants to be. Thank you.
Anyone who wants to support this effort, I have set up a donate button on my website, joy.com. It's for the SJ Legal Fund. Every penny will go to, that they're already read on this. We've done a lot of pro bono work, but we want to file these actions as much as we can. There's no better attorney. There is no more winning attorney. People good stewards of those promises. Are there any questions?
We're going to voice bring the file. Well, we're going to file it probably. We've had some good success. they allow restaurant SLA down. Not asking restaurant. It hasn't been all. It's not easy. The odds are typically going to be against this point. We're hoping that we get our right. Now, it does seem sometimes overwhelming with work ethic. Nothing. It's not an alternative. Not that young water.
Can others still join that class action lawsuit with the parents? Okay. More have died from the vaccine, I think. Yeah. Some of it's mental. Yeah. Where do they go to join or contact you or? Constantly, I'm hearing from people thinking of doing it, but haven't done it. I don't know if they could just join, it'd be easy. Is there anything, any class action suits or any suits against Como at the moment? Okay. Are you part of that? Are you part of those suits? Okay. Okay. So they can contact you about any type of suit they're thinking of. 17, good. And just takes so long.
That's a good point. That's
Right. Horse conversion. Horse.
Mr. Hogan, have any- sort of- Yeah, the one- Contact tracing. I'll be in Cuba. 600,000. He said, at the end of the day, less than one. Google. 74% the home. Because it's possible to get outside.
And the
It's just
exposure.
too hard to get. You have to almost get some space outside. But if you're sitting in a home, then you're there for hours. That's how it is.
Touching stuff. Touching.
So locking people down in the home was the dumbest thing the government could have done.
The nursing homes are worse. Now,
Every time they're in front of a judge, and the government stopped giving out the information, they're now fighting us to prevent them showing information they have. Government fighting out there.
can all the harassment calls be part of that lawsuit that you got? I mean, I think it was like 3-4 days of calls constantly. Can you sue for that?
Story will be-
Okay. Okay.
Hopefully it'll be in front of a jury. We'll make a determination. Civil rights and civil rights violence.
So when they finally left, my daughter said, "Mommy, are they going?" And so that was hard to hear as a mother. It is hard to imagine or articulate the fear that goes through a mom at the prospect of them realizing that they could not do. So that has my family is I'm resilient, we are fine. But that feeling doesn't ever go away. This idea it's a breach of trust, violation of privacy, intimidating on my street. I don't have a parking ticket. I have 20 years. We are peaceful, law-abiding taxpayers. And to have that type of intrusion is something that will never, ever. But I'm Shannon's mom. The day she called, to, I saw you. Why? It was the chief. So don't let it happen to your kids. Don't let it happen to parents. Don't let it happen because this could spread like wildfire. So it's okay.
Do you think the state was trying to make an example of you by going after you and you're well known?
I firmly believe they were trying to intimidate the press. They wanted me to shut up. I've been a loud and outspoken critic of the policy, COVID-19 protocols, the lockdown. Dr. Mendoza and Adam Bello, I had been for 12 months prior. And so it defies logic that they would send 4 officials to my house 14 hours after I exposed them on my. I think it's obvious that I think.
We hope to bring Mr. Mendoza in. Ask him under oath.
He was supposed to meet with you, actually, wasn't he? Heard it.
That no one has been served in person with the quarantine orders, and no one has had contact tracing.
All I said is time that occurs that there are here county employees. How they could get paid over never done single. But no basically pure pure I've got the power. Have to go now.
I hear you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm on this right now for now, and I'm probably going to interview Shannon a little bit if she has time. Okay? Bye-bye.